We're live and we are back.
are.
Hey guys, I am stoked to be doing this Facebook Live. I feel like I've been with you guys on Zoom so many times in the last couple of weeks for podcasts and just different discussions about business and whatnot. But today's the day that we're Facebook official, and I'm stoked to welcome officially Mr. Kelley, Skar, and Robyn. Robyn, I'm gonna butcher your last name if I try to do this on the fly. So I'm just gonna say Robyn. Like, you're that cool that you get one name and you're known by one name now going forward. So seriously though, guys, super excited to welcome you officially to eXp Realty.
Thank you guys. I absolutely froze up. I was so nervous to talk to you guys. My screen froze, I froze, everybody froze like crazy. So I missed like probably the intro and probably the most important part of this video.
It's the best intro you've ever had. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm your new walkout song. So
right.
I just rambled, so you didn't miss much. Robyn,
all right,
dude, welcome, man. I'm stoked. We're official now.
Yeah, right on, man. So excited to be here. This is awesome stuff. Yeah, it's great to be a part of this. We're building something great here. Love it.
Awesome. Well, I love the way we got together. We had a mutual friend that had introduced us a while back, Kelley, and you and I got to know each other, had a few conversations over a couple months, and it was pretty clear right away that we had a lot of mutual interest. And you ended up introducing myself and Fred to Robyn, and it was pretty clear as well too that the three of us hit it off and had a lot of similar thought processes and goals and things like that. So I'm stoked that this kind of come full circle, and we all ended up being able to get into business together here at eXp. So this is fun for me. Fred, I'll let you go ahead and say a word. It looks like you're chomping at the bit, buddy.
No, man, this is Kelley and Robyn show. So guys, like, you guys are well respected in your industries. You guys have both done some incredible things in the real estate world. For those that don't know you, why don't you give us a little bit of your background and talk to us around kind of what went through this big decision, right? Like to do something different, to make a little bit of a change here.
Yeah, go ahead, Robyn.
Yeah, for me, getting into real estate in 2015 was super exciting, and then been building my business. Early on, I was part of a busy team, and then went out as a solo agent. And I've just been looking at ways to expand my business. And like, when I saw what eXp had to offer, it was just one of those things that I couldn't unsee. Like, I know I'm going to be selling real estate for another 15, 20 years. And it has so much to offer. Like, it's such an agent focused platform that it was something I had to be a part of, especially after talking to you guys, because just the way you guys have been able to build it down in Arizona and everything like that, seeing how organic you guys are and just easy to chat with, it just really resonated with me. And it just made me feel really, really good about making the move.
That's awesome, man. Kelley, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. And this is a big move for you, man. A lot of people are going to be like, wait, Kelley just did what?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. This is like my third move in 18 months. So I don't know if people are, I haven't really said much about the other previous moves, but I guess maybe because I was waiting for kind of like the big one, right? I've been having a lot of conversations over the last 18 months or so. And this is probably the conversations that I started off with Kevin, and then, obviously with Fred. I mean, these conversations were probably the most important in my career to help with my direction. So, quick backstory history. I've been in business for 14. I'm in my 14th year now. Started as a solo agent, started a team in 2013, ran successfully until 2015, merged my team with a small indie brokerage here. We grew that brokerage to 105 agents. I left the company we parted ways in September of 2019. Went back as a solo agent. Joined a Remax office for about 6 months, joined a large independent here after that. I was there for about 8 months, and now I'm here at eXp. So funny story, I had already been kind of thinking about eXp for probably a couple of months, and I get this phone call out of the blue from Robyn. And Robyn and I met each other back in 2017. Actually, I tried to recruit Robyn to my previous company that I was with, and he wound up actually joining the team that he had mentioned. So him and I kind of kept in touch over the years, and he reaches out to me, gives me a call, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about making a move, and I want you to talk me out of joining eXp." And I started laughing. And he goes, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't do that. I'm sorry, man." He goes, "What? What do you mean?" I said, "I've been thinking about doing the same thing, man. I'm sorry. I can't talk you out of it." Right. And if anything, we just kind of talked each other into it. Right. We talked a lot about what the benefits were. The fact, Robyn brought up the fact that they're so agent focused, and what Kevin has said in previous conversation during the podcast, not only my podcast, but I think when I was on his podcast as well, your guys' podcast. They're really the only brokerage that has the agent's best interest. Well, I wouldn't even say best interest. I would say, what was the term that you used, Kevin? They have the agents.
They respect the future of the agent. The agent's
right.
future.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So, because I think a lot of brokerages have their agent's best interest at heart and at play, but actually respecting the agent's future and I've had some really wonderful conversations the last couple of days with some really trusted people that, friends of mine, people in the industry, and had a really great conversation, a couple of really great conversations yesterday. There's people that are interested in this model, and they're asking the tough questions, and, the tough questions don't have to be tough answers, right? I think ultimately, when I was recruiting for my previous company, we always led with the value first. That was 100%. We never started with the money. So, if you're interested in having that conversation, let's talk about your business and talk about the value, the value proposition, what we can actually bring to the table.
Really awesome. Kelley, I'm so glad you didn't talk me out of it, brother. Happy to be here. It's been a ride. And you talk about when you're resonating on a certain frequency, and honestly, that was, from that moment on, I just knew that it was something that was going to be what I really wanted to be a part of. So here we are.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, to watch you guys, because you guys were in such lockstep there. But I think even just going back to that conversation, what's interesting to me, but it's not surprising, because I tell people this all the time, but it's hard to know it until you've experienced. But Robyn called Kelley because he was already checking it out, and he didn't know that Kelley was checking it out. So he was like, "Hey, tell me not to do this, right? Give me your unbiased opinion," not knowing that Kelley actually had researched it and was already kind of looking into it. And the reality is, we have so many friends and peers, if you will, and colleagues around the country, around the world, really, who are also thinking the same thing, man, because I think the writing's on the wall. Most people realize things are changing. They're changing forever. There is no going back to normal. Like, the new normal will be different than the old normal. No doubt about it. And I think what happens, it's got a lot of people being very reflective and looking, and it's just, but we don't want to say it out loud. Like, most people are afraid to say that out loud. So Kelley calls you, or Robyn calls you Kelley, because you guys know each other, you like each other, you trust each other. So it's a safe place. But the reality is, there's a lot of us thinking and pondering about what's our next move and what should we be doing for our future. And the reality is, sometimes we just got to reach out to people like Robyn had the courage to do. And look what happened, man. It turned out to be a really good thing for the two of you. So I'm stoked about that.
Yeah. It's like you said, if COVID didn't happen, I don't know that I would actually be having this conversation with you guys, to be 100% honest with you. There's a lot of other things that we as a family are looking at doing in the new year, in 2021. I won't get into those details right here, right now, but this is COVID. Everything that's happened has been actually really good for us from, a reflection standpoint, really analyzing what's important, for our family, for our business, and making the tough decisions to, moving brokerages it's not easy, right? It's easy and it's not. Making the decision to move is not an easy thing. Actually making the move takes a couple of hours, right? I run into this all the time where, I talk to agents and they go, it's such a pain in the ass, and I got to rebrand and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, you don't actually have to rebrand. Like, you're not Coca-Cola, right? You're not Nike looking to reinvent the swoosh, right? All you're doing is taking your brand and putting it onto a new sign. Like, that's all it is, right? And even now with open houses, going bye-bye, I mean, do you even need signs? So what is there to rebrand, right? Yeah. A business card? I mean, they give us 1,000 business cards. I haven't even designed it yet. I don't even printed them off or anything. I'm not even there yet. Right. So, Yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. I guess.
Well,
maybe
no,
I'm
I
just
think,
so excited.
you know, I think you raise a really good point, Kelly, is that what the thing is, and this is true for everyone. Everyone's got, they've got this identity that they've built up about themselves, right? Or this story about themselves, and their identity's tied to it, right? And so when you ask someone to change, like they think, hey, I'm moving brokerage is a change, and
Right.
instead of it's really doing something different, right? You're moving to a new brokerage. You're not really having to change your branding, you're changing the sign, and so it feels like change, and change is hard for most people. Change psychologically, mentally, emotionally is heavy for people, and so they don't want to do it because they've got this identity built up around, hey, I'm a, you know, KW agent, I'm a Remax agent, I'm a Redline agent, or whoever, because that's been my identity for so long because of another decision I made 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, man. And to add to that, I mean, you know, ultimately, what is the brokerage there to do? They're there to support and to guide the agent, right? And you know, I mentioned I had a really good couple of conversations this week. I also had kind of a shitty conversation. I had somebody call me up and just kind of tear into me, right? I texted you about this earlier in the week, and it's like, you know, first of all, you got to consider the source. Second, you know, this guy kind of came at me saying, well, nobody's going to want to do business with you because of the brand that's behind you. And I'm like, dude, you know, first of all, you say you know me, but you obviously don't know me. And second, I've never been one to tie myself to, you know, an eXp or a CIR or a Remax or a Royal LePage. You know, I am the brand. As the agent, I am the brand, and the brokerage is there to support me and to guide me. And so in making this decision, it was an easy decision for me after I looked at everything. And I know Kevin and Fred were probably just like pulling their hair out, whatever hair Fred has got left. And, you know, Kevin's got left, right? He's got hardly anything. He's like pulled it all out. So, you know, they're probably pulling their hair out because I had so many frigging questions about the model and the financials and the, you know, the value proposition and the USP and all that stuff. Right. So it was an easy yet hard decision. If anybody wants an explanation, I can explain that to you in detail. But, you know, ultimately, I'm the brand. I'm the one that people are going to do business with. I'm the one that's going to create that know, like, and trust environment, right? So it's not going to be anything to do with the brand. Now, if I sit down with somebody that's looking at listing their house, the question might come up, you know, who is eXp? Hey, it came up with who is CIR. It came up with, you know, who is Redline. I mean, it came up with just about who is Sutton Group. It has come up with almost every single brand I've ever been with, right? There are people out there, believe it or not, that have no idea what a Remax is, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, at the end of the day, when somebody contacts me and they want to do business with me, they don't really give a shit. And I'll give you another story. I had a client, I called up a listing client of mine. And I just told him, I said, listen, you know, I'm switching brokerages here in a couple of weeks. We're going to have to get a termination agreement signed. And, you know, we're going to have to, you know, relist you on the other side. I said, I've informed my brokerage already, and we just need to get this paperwork. It's a formality. Let's get it out of the way. And he looks at me and go, well, we're over the phone, but he says to me, you know, how is this going to benefit me? And I said, well, it's not really going to benefit you. You're still doing business with me, and I'm still going to market your property the way that I've been doing it. It's going to benefit me more than it's going to benefit you. And he was like, oh, okay, well, send me the paperwork. Let's get this done then. Right? Like, it had nothing to do with the brokerage. It had like, and if he would have said, hold on a second, back up, I don't want to follow you over to this new brokerage, then that's on me. That's my fault because I didn't do my job. Right. I wasn't able to create that know, like, and trust environment.
You said it right there, know, like, and trust. And our clients hire us because of the hustle that we bring to the table for them, right? Like, I can't think of a deal this year where it wasn't pulling a camel through the eye of a needle to make it happen. It's the calls that get made, all of that good stuff. And that's why they're hiring us. They don't care whether it's a balloon, whether it's a lion, whatever it is, they're coming to us to help them sell their property. So that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Hey guys, let me ask you, and I want to be sensitive. I don't want to offend anybody out there, but I know when Kevin and I moved over to eXp, one of the things people said to us at the time was like, eXp, like that's kind of like the island of misfits, or like people that go there, like they don't sell a lot of real estate. They had all these impressions, right, wrong, or indifferent. There was people out there that thought like they didn't associate at that time when we made the move the eXp as a place where top producers went, a place where people that were, you know, reputable or big in the industry went. So there was some questions, and I don't know the dynamics. You guys are in Alberta, Canada, right? So I don't know the dynamics as well as you, and I certainly don't mean to offend any existing eXp agents throughout Canada. But I'm sure as eXp is newer in Canada than it is in the States, I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that kind of wonder, like, why are you guys going there? Like that, like their impression is that that's not really an attractive place to go. So any comments or any feedback or anything you would kind of share with us around that type of decision for those that are out there going, what are you guys doing right now?
My thing in it was, I'm going to sell real estate no matter what. Like, I'm going to service my clients, and I'm going to continue to do what we all do, which is sell real estate. What really, really attracted me to eXp was the 3-lane superhighway, the things it offers to me as an agent, that at the end of doing my business like I normally would for the next 15 to 20 years or whatever that looks like, I'm going to have something at the end of all that. And that just, I couldn't look past that. I was like, no other brokerage offers that. It's like, as soon as you terminate your license, you're done. Whatever you earned there, whatever you did, that's it. That's where it stops. And with eXp, it's totally different. That's what I loved about what I love about the company.
Yeah, great question, Fred. I mean, I was one of those guys, man. I was one of those guys. I was like, I came across a document that I put together when I was with my previous company, that the brokerage that I was a part owner in. And it was a document that I wrote in 2018, and it was a SWOT analysis of eXp versus our company. And I started going through it, and I'm like, I was wrong on so many points. I did not know squat about the company. I knew what I knew from what I heard from other people, right? I didn't actually, and keep in mind, in 2013, I met with Glenn Sanford at the Banff Western Connection Conference in Banff, Alberta. We sat down in the Rundle Lounge, we had a drink together, and he pitched me on eXp. He wanted me to bring eXp into Alberta. And I turned them down flat. Now, am I kicking myself in the ass a little bit? Yeah, probably a little bit. But hey, listen, you know, everything happens for a reason, right? You know, ultimately, I think the fear is palpable in the industry right now. A lot of people don't know this, but eXp in Canada has grown almost by 100%. You know, we were sharing some numbers yesterday, and you know, 807 eXp realtors in Canada at the end of December 2019, and there's now over 1,570 eXp realtors in Canada right now as of today, right? So there's a good chance there's going to be 100% growth. So, you know, I'm not going to slight 1,600 agents for making a decision that you know, they're looking after their future. They're obviously, they saw something just as we did. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think there's going to be a lot of brokers that are going to continue to say the same things that I was saying. And, you know, quite frankly, I was wrong. And those brokers today, I've had many conversations with different brokers in different jurisdictions, and they were all saying the same thing that you just said. It's, you know, where agents go to die, right? It's where they go to retire. You know, there's no production with eXp agents. Well, if there's no production, how do you explain that I'm there and that Robyn's there, right? I know a lot of other eXp agents that are with eXp that produce, right? So, you know, there is production there, and the fact that there is a massive focus, like, agent attraction is one thing, growth is one thing, but the core, one of the core values, one of the core visions for the company is focusing in on production. If they weren't focused in on production, the amount of training that's available in the world would not exist, right? And it would just be about attracting agents, and then those agents would be attracting other agents, and then next thing you know, there's no revenue, and there's no rev share, and there's nothing, right? So in order for this company, for this model to exist, there has to be production. And that's, you know, part of the reason why they've built the infrastructure that they have, and they put on, you know, the amount of training that they've put on and continue to put on.
Yeah, I love what you guys said right there. I think for anybody out there listening, it's okay to give yourself permission to say what I thought I may have knew about eXp may or may not be correct. And I'm willing to look a little bit further to see if I may have missed something, because many of us said, hell no. Not all of us had a drink with Glenn Sanford in 2013 and turned him down, but I said hell no to my now sponsor at eXp, Curtis Johnson, 6 months before moving, right? And a lot of times we're just quick to judge things. I'm the worst at it, guys, just being honest. Kevin will laugh and tell you plenty of stories, but yeah, I just quickly slap judgments on things, right? And so oftentimes I think we have to just step back and say, I'm going to be a little more open-minded and check this out. I'm going to be a little more open-minded. And at the end of the day, I don't know that any of us are like waving the eXp flag religiously saying like, we're going to be here for the rest of our lives. We're making a decision today that says eXp supports us and the future of our families and our businesses better than any existing real estate model. And if a better one comes along tomorrow or next week or next year or 10 years from now, we're going to go check that out. And we're probably all going over there too, right? So this isn't really about eXp versus other brands. This is just about putting ourselves and our families and our businesses first.
I think part of the tough thing is like, on some level, and Kelley, like I totally like honor and appreciate you sharing what you did. I won't do the same for Fred because I like to give him shit. But the reality is most people are not comfortable admitting they're wrong. And so if they've taken this hard line on eXp is this or that, they've labeled it whatever, they've decided to label it because they heard someone else say it, a coworker, or they didn't like one agent that was up, whatever, they've labeled it, right? And so then they built up the story about what the company is and the type of agents that are at the company. In order for them to be open and even look at it to see if it's a possibility for them, they would have to admit, at least internally, I was wrong. And that's just too tough of a pill for most people to swallow. Just being totally frank, most people can't do that. They can't say, you know what, I was wrong, even if it means there's a freaking gold mine on the other side of saying I was wrong. And it doesn't even have to be about eXp. That's just in general. Like most people won't admit I was wrong in order to get what they say they really want.
Kevin, you remember one of our mentors back in the day used to say, perceptions are formed with an ounce of information and changed with a ton. Yeah. Right. And so oftentimes we're quick to judge or form a perception about something based on very little information. So I just say that to challenge anybody who may be listening to say, consider listening a little bit further, consider learning a little bit more, consider being open to the fact that you may not understand the whole story. You don't even have to admit you're wrong. You just may not have all the facts.
Totally agree. All right, guys, we should wrap this up. But this is Robyn and Kelley's show. So fellas, I'm gonna let you guys sign off. Anything last thing you guys want to say before we get out of here today? And we'll do an update, say in 30 days.
Do you guys like my artwork or what? Was that?
I gotta
admit,
your
kids did a great job, man.
You're getting
give them a high five for me, wouldn't you?
I'm just mad you took that joke because I almost said it before we started, and then I was like, no, I can't. I'm like, I can't throw him off with that good of a joke. Damn it.
I've been saving that, man. I had to give him credit like before we went on air, but now I had to drop it.
See, Fred's a jerk. I told you guys.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I did that at like 5 o'clock this morning. So whatever it did.
Awesome.
And I'm not an artist. I'm the first one to admit that, but yeah, I guess to take us out, thank you guys so much for, all of the support that you've given us over the last couple of months. I know that we've probably been, probably me a little bit more than Robyn have been a bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm a detailed guy, man. I need to know everything. I need to have all of the information in front of me before I can make a decision. And I can't say enough good things about you guys. You're just so open and transparent and, wanting to share and wanting to help others grow. And I think honestly, that's a big part of the reason why we gelled so quickly. Because we're just all, traveling down the same path together. It would be a different story if we were on two different paths and you were trying to drag me up or, drag me over, so to speak. But, it's very easy to talk to you guys and very easy to get in touch with you when we've got, issues with this, that, or the other thing, or need help with this, that, or the other thing. So thank you both for all of your help and support and mentorship. It's been a great ride so far, and we're just getting started.
Totally. I concur with Kelley 100%. I think there was even a point there where I was like, man, Kelley, are you going to get there? Cause I'm there, like with all the questions and everything. It literally was like that. And I mean, I'm just grateful. The big part of it for me was just being able to get on calls with guys like you, Kevin and Fred, like just down to earth guys talking about business, talking like just like-minded professional conversation. And that was what really hit it for me. This is not something that's unachievable for anybody that's out there listening. It's just regular folks doing a lot of business, selling a lot of real estate. So thanks for having us, and thanks for all the guidance in getting here.
Yeah. Well, in closing, Kevin, if I could just say this, and I'll let you wrap it up. You know, eXp, you get to pick your business partners, and I couldn't think of better guys to be partnered with. And I think there's a lot of people out there right now that are listening and are going to listen over the coming months and years that look up and go, wait a second, like my current brokerage is good, but like I could literally have Kelley and Robyn as my business partners, like that they would be invested in my success, that they would financially gain when I financially gain, that there are people that actually would be in the trenches with me on an everyday basis. So for those of you that are out there that maybe don't understand eXp, reach out to these guys. We didn't go into a lot of the details of what eXp is and what it offers today, but know that at eXp, you get to pick your business partners. You get to choose who you want to align with, who you want to hitch your wagon to, and who you want to work with in the future. And it's not just one or two people that are working on your behalf. There's a whole group of us, right, that are well aligned, that are here to support you in your upcoming growth.
Absolutely. All right. I don't think there's anything left unsaid. So I'm just going to say, guys, reach out to Kelley and Robyn if you want to know more. I'm assuming Facebook Messenger is good. If people want to contact you another way, or if you guys have other preferential ways of being contacted, let us know, or we could put it in the comments or something here on Facebook. But definitely reach out to Kelley and Robyn. Ask them about their their motivation, their decision, and their process and journey. And look forward to chatting with you guys again very soon.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Fellas.
All right. Hey, in closing, can we have Kevin say Robyn's last name? Can we try to hear Schidlowsky from Kevin just to see if he can pull it off? You missed that part, Kevin. You froze at the beginning, and that's what we were talking about. He couldn't say Robyn's last name. All right, we can sign off.
I'm just ending it. See you later, guys.
Before we left.
Right on. See you
Later, fellas.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.